Hey, we are live. I got Mr. Bob Donnell on with me, and we're here to talk. We're here to talk some positivity tonight. Bob, I thought I'd bring on a special guest.
Okay.
Just to, I mean, look, you and I are pretty positive people. But you know, in my travels through the universe, I've run into some, believe it or not, even more positive people than us. I know. And so I want to introduce everybody to Abigail.
Hi.
Abigail.
I just pulled her out of the ocean. Her hair's a little wet.
Were you swimming with the sharks?
Yes.
I love it.
Well, the dolphins.
Oh, the dolphins. Now, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get eaten alive.
No. No.
So what do you have to say to everybody that's feeling, maybe they're feeling negative or they're feeling down about, being this whole crazy coronavirus scare and everybody's worried? What do you have to say to those people that are worried?
Well, I kind of have 3 things to say.
3 things.
Okay. Don't run out of toilet paper because I don't know what the heck's going on with that.
Okay.
Number 2,
Who's that?
Weldon Whitehurst.
Yeah.
Whitehurst. Hi. And then the second thing is if you are feeling down, then you have to set a goal for the next day. You have to say, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna make it a new day. I'm gonna stay healthy and strong and confident, and I'm not gonna get sick. So, and then the third thing is wash your hands because just wash your hands. Because
right.
Is that a new thing that they should?
Yeah, because
I mean, you've always washed your hands, right?
Well, obviously, yeah. But
obviously.
it's good to remember it at this time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. So if they're feeling down, run through that again one more time.
So if they're feeling down, they should set a goal for the next day, and they should say, I'm going to set a goal for the next day, and I'm going to be positive. I'm going to tell myself I'm healthy, and I'm going to do my best to be me.
To be you.
To be you. To be you.
To be you. No, you said to be I'm going to tell myself, just be me.
Oh, okay.
Be myself.
Yeah, be myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. Wow.
Good job.
All right. Well, there you have it from Miss Abigail. She wanted to bring some of her positivity to the stream. That was pretty good.
Good job, Abigail.
Bob, look where Bob is. It's still light out there. I mean, it's light here at the beach. We're at the beach in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I just got out of the water and my hair is
it's
wet.
all wet. I know.
It's all
wet.
Terrible. Yeah.
Smells good. Doesn't smell much like the ocean.
It should smell like salt water.
It doesn't.
Or is it fresh water?
It would be salt water. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so all right. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by and spreading some light and happiness.
I'm supposed to be Abigail. I'm confused. No, you're supposed to be yourself. You're supposed to be the best you can be.
Oh, she's telling you, Joe. She's telling you.
For a minute, I thought his last name was
Joe, I'm driving. I can't be on the phone.
She said for a minute, I thought his last name was Instagram. That means they owe him a lot of money then. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go hit the waves again. I'm gonna go for a swim.
All right.
Okay, bye, Abigail.
Be careful. You're all right. Be careful out there. Don't get bit by a dolphin.
I won't.
All right.
Have teeth?
I think.
Okay.
Bye. Bye. Love you. Oh my gosh. Just had to bring some positivity. She asked if she could be on. She's like, "Can I be on your live stream?" Yeah. She loves it. He said, I go by Joe TikTok now. So what's happening that's positive in the world? What's happening? I want to hear some people on the stream. I want to hear some people on the stream talk about positive things that are happening in their lives today. Because man, I got all kinds of positive stuff happening.
Yeah.
There's T Free, Terrence Freeman, my buddy over in New York City. He's over in the Big Apple.
Big Apple.
I love New York, dude.
Yeah, me too. I love going there.
Oh,
I don't want to live there, but I like going to visit.
yeah. The energy in Manhattan is just
crazy.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lyndon Crane up in Canada, eh? How you doing, Lyndon? His dad's a good friend of mine and a client of mine.
Nice.
Yeah. So, wow. Joel Boer said we were able to get over 111 leads to a client by 11 a.m. That's incredible.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Bob, what's happening in your world that's positive?
Lots of stuff. I mean, I'm spending some time on the road, spending some time here, and I'm going to head out to, I'm debating today to go back to Idaho or maybe go up north or go to Texas, go see my buddy Glenn. I don't know. So, but the good things are that, things are moving forward. We've got, we've got online business, we have live business.
Yeah.
And, people are resilient. I mean, I will never underestimate the human spirit.
No way.
People are adapting. I said the word pivot today on Facebook because, hey, here's an opportunity to pivot.
Yeah.
We wanted to do more. We wanted to do some new things online. So now we are. We wanted to reach out to some different demographics and people. So now we are. So
yeah.
I think there's a lot of great things that are going to come out of all the stuff that people are complaining about. There's going to be a lot of great stuff that develops.
That's right. Tammy Woodard she owns a car lot down in Georgia, down in southern Georgia. And why can I never, oh my gosh, why can't Tammy tell me the town name again? Why I'm drawing a blank?
Alpharetta.
No. She's down. Alpharetta is north of Atlanta. She's down in, it's going to drive. As soon as she says it, I'm going to be really upset with myself. Anyway, Hoboken, Georgia.
Hoboken, Georgia. I've only heard of Hoboken, New Jersey, so I didn't even know there was a Hoboken, Georgia.
Yeah, there's a Hoboken, Georgia. So,
cool.
Does anyone remember chicken pox? We did, right? I know, man. So, but hey, let's make this positive.
Yeah.
So there's one of my favorite prayers is Eric said, you need to leave the beach and get back to work. So one of my favorite prayers is the serenity prayer. And that is, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And, there's certain things that are beyond our control. Like,
amen.
I can't control. There's certain things I just can't control. And, I can't control what the president's going to say or do, or I can't control what the, governor of any state is going to say or do. I can't control that. I think that there are going to be, there's going to be people that realize that being a server in a restaurant for all this time, maybe it's time to shift gears and find something where I can create my own income instead of, and I'm not saying, hey, every server in the world should quit. I'm just saying that, maybe there's going to be a big shift for a lot of people. And I think that out of all of this chaos, out of all of this insanity, I think people are going to come out and there's going to be some massive, massive winners. Big time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of things that we say, well, we're not in control of that. There's a lot of things we don't need to be in control of. There's a lot of things that if we were in control, we would limit the expansion. We would limit the opportunity because of the way we think.
Yep.
And so I'm a big believer that sometimes things don't happen the way we want to. They happen better.
Yep. That is the truth. That is absolutely the truth. So look,
I can tell you this: we did an event 15 years ago, and it was for real estate, for people looking to buy real estate.
Yeah.
And I had a lender, and I had a resource, a title, and myself, and we did massive mail outs, and we got 3 people to show up, show up to the office to do this training. Guess what? Within 30 days, all 3 of those people purchased a property. We didn't need 50 people to show up. We only needed 3. It was the right 3.
Yep. That's it. I mean, again, there's going to be one of the things, and you and I talked about this. I think it was yesterday we talked about this. When you're going through tough times, right? Or scary times where it seems like there's a lot of things that are very unpredictable. They're out of our control. You know, one of the things that I like to do, and I like to teach my clients to do, is, man, you got to find that spot where somewhere inside of you where you can start doing some creation stuff, where you can start creating, you know, tapping into the creativity, right? And so today I was like, you know what? I'm doing something to help Mark Victor Hansen. And I'm like, I'm going to get really creative with this little thing and help him out with this. And I found myself when you're in that spot, when you're in that zone of being creative, like, dude, like what matters? I didn't, like, hours went by and I didn't think one single time about anything negative. Right.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I think it's so true. I think, a lot of times, we've talked about this before about the deposit in the East and withdrawal in the West. I mean, action begets action. And maybe we're not going to see the result from exactly what we're doing, but we can see it someplace else. But the thing is we have to remain active. We have to remain progressive. We have to remain creative for the other things to naturally happen. It's not what we do once in a while. It's what we do continuously, intentionally and purposefully that, over and over again, that produces the greatest results.
Who's that guy? Do you know him?
I know him from last night.
It looks like I'm hanging with some rough company right there. That's all I can ascertain from this, looking at this screen.
Hey, Kent, I'm Ken Walls. Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you. Good to be on here with you. How's it going, man?
Good.
Hey,
we're talking positivity, and Bob said you were going to pop in here, so welcome, man.
Thank you.
Tell everybody who you are. I'll give you the screen for a minute.
Guys, that's a great question. I am one of the most fascinating people that I know. My only claim to fame is hanging with Bob, and I love doing that. And you're talking about positivity, and Bob is one of those guys. Actually, Bob and Bob's entire posse down there, they're wonderfully creative. They're great business people. They're very aspirational, and they're very entrepreneurial. And that's the kind of energy I love to hang around. I'm sure you're the same way too.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes. Bob,
Speaking
where'd you go?
Bob, did we lose Bob?
Oh, I think we did. He must have gotten a phone call.
Oh my gosh.
And if he did, he's going to have to leave the
There,
Bob,
he's back in.
No.
Okay.
I'm back.
Stop talking
I'm
about
there.
it. He's back.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't talk about
Oh.
Bob anymore.
All right,
Don't
let's
talk about
let's
Bob.
not.
He's back. He can hear us.
Yeah.
No,
So
but, so yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're hanging with Bob, you know exactly what I mean. It's this is one of those times, first of all, where I think a lot of people lose sight of their blessings and they lose sight of all the great things that are happening, even though it's kind of a weird, scary time right now. If you just back up for a little bit, count your blessings, and go, man, there's a lot of people who would like to be in my shoes, or there's a lot of people didn't get out of bed this morning.
that's right.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
That's right. Where
Isn't
where
that the
where do
truth?
you live?
I'm a Tennessee resident, but I've got a ranch just outside of Los Angeles, and that's where I'm at right now. We're actually in the middle of a brand new news network launch, and the network launches next week in a soft launch, sort of a shelter launch, but it's a pretty big launch. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so I'm stuck here in the Communist Republic of California for the next few months.
I love it. All right, Bob, you're out of here. He's my new best friend.
No,
I tell you,
Bob's gotta
Kent
be in the
Kent
circle
is
of friends.
awesome. Kent is
I love
awesome.
that.
He is an all-time favorite at Next Level by Association. People love him. Bill and Joe, who've been on this show, absolutely love Kent, and I love Kent. Kent, I consider Kent a friend, colleague, a mentor. I mean, all the above. This guy, I mean, stuff that he's not going to say, I'll say. This guy is a serial entrepreneur. He's done a lot of things. He's like really big in infomercials. He's done great things with infomercials. He's done a lot of work in the area of philanthropy. He's done a lot of work in the area of show business. He's got a lot of great friends in show business. His daughter, if you've ever seen the show Modern Family, the little girl in that show is his daughter. And
wow, really?
Wow. By the way, I will have to make the disclaimer that I am straight. It's amazing how many people don't separate TV shows from reality. So we can be walking down the Santa Monica Pier, and I get like 12 phone numbers, but they're all guys.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh,
it's just,
man,
I'm just like,
you're like, yeah, I don't play for that team. So you do. So what's tell me about, or tell us, everybody, I guess, that's watching, about this news network. Is it like a cable network? Is it a?
And by the way, we haven't even announced it yet, but you put such pressure on me, like that Barbara Walters kind of pressure, that I felt compelled to just spit it out, and I did.
I'm mistaken for Barbara, so I get it.
Oh man, well, you're a much hotter version of Barbara. And again, I go back to I am straight, just so that the record. So, it's an 18 to 34-year-old news network. So really, really, really a market that's not being served, and it's it's edgy, it's young. So that answers the question: is it a cable news network? No one it's actually less than 10% of the people that are 18 to 34 have or utilize cable on a regular basis or satellite. So this is all digital. So it's on every digital platform: Apple TV, Roku, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Bob
awesome.
Donald Live. That's a new one there. Bob Donald Live. We're going to be on that 24/7.
That's right.
So it's on about. It will be on about like 15 or 16 streaming platforms, and then over the next month or two, Verizon is our partner, and Verizon and their front end DCafe is handling the our own app and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really cool format. It's edgy as hell. People can call in on it. They can Skype in. They can FaceTime in. At the top of the hour and the bottom of the hour, it's news with some fantastic graphics. And then it's more of a hot talk format on the shoulders, on those 25 minutes on each side of the half hour. It's more of a hot talk format. So it's, we got, a lot of celebrities will be on, a lot of politicians, a lot of sports, folks, a lot of singers. But it comes down to the news. There's so much fake news out there this will be real. Actually, the tagline is "Real news, no bullshit," and that actually is the real tagline.
Wow.
And embraced by everyone. It was kind of funny when we came up with 8 or 10 original taglines. We surveyed them, and I thought, well, everybody, that was the word that came up when we started talking about what's missing in news, and people said we want no BS,
Yeah.
except usually all the way the whole word. And so we thought, well, we'll throw that in, people, because one of the consistent lines was real news, no bullshit. So we surveyed it, and it came back literally 9-1. They loved that.
Wow.
So then I thought, well, maybe I'll survey it with some older folks, like our age type folks. So I
Hey, whoa.
Older than 18.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Older than 18. Physically, obviously, I don't know you that well, but Bob, I know well enough to know that mentally he's at 13 or 14 with me. So
at least, right.
So we didn't even follow the demographic. We were too young mentally for the demographic. But so it really, even the older crowd went, God, that just says it all right there. So we built a positioning statement of the network around that.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. You need to be on my show, and you can announce that on my regular show. Bob
I would love to be there.
He keeps introducing me to all these phenomenal people, and he's yet, like, this is our first introduction. So, yay.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. It'd be my pleasure. Just anytime, let me know.
I've been called the digital Dr. Phil.
Joe and Bill. You've had Joe and Bill on your show before?
I have, yep.
Bob, those guys are so much freaking fun as well. They're just characters. And I gotta say, it would be a fun with all of us. It'd be a great time to do.
Yeah, well, we were trying to get Joe on here at the same time, and he's driving. Yeah.
So and Bob, you're driving too, right?
No, I'm just sitting still. I'm sitting in my car.
Bob, when you texted me earlier, I could have done the hottest background scenes, and we could have had one of the coolest things probably you've ever had on your show. I was at the deli at Vaughn's because the 8-piece fried chicken was on sale for $5.29 this week. So the fries. So I was texted. So I was literally right there. So we could have been me and the guy that was at the deli at Vaughn on with us.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That is awesome.
So listen to this, Ken.
There it is, sitting on the counter right there. That 8 pieces in
there
that brown
is.
Bag.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? You can't wait to get off of here and eat it, probably, right?
Nah. I tell you, what a blast! I really appreciate you guys having me on. Would love to do it again anytime.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Ken, let me tell you something about Kent as well. He did a really cool thing. Have you ever been to Branson, Missouri?
No, I have not.
So Branson, Missouri is an entertainment, entertainment mecca in the middle of, right?
Yeah.
And so Kent decided to buy radio stations, these little podunk radio stations, on the way in to Branson and on the way out of Branson. And he tell him, Kent, this was brilliant.
Yeah. I got to hear this.
Kent?
A lot of fun with it. We did years ago. I don't know, back in the early 90s, I guess. Oh, am I still with you? I don't know if I'm still with you.
You're here.
Yep.
Okay, I was missing Bob there a little bit. It was kind of sad. I think what Bob's referring to is just came up with a really cool format back in the mid to early 90s of doing a vacation format. So we did a format where we had about 30, and we did it was strictly vacation. So it was Branson Radio, 1550 AM on this huge, crazy, obnoxious, bright yellow billboards, comedy, info, free stuff. And so we had great listenership, great advertising. And we did it up until 2015, and we sold this group of stations. We had there, Tennessee, in the Smoky Mountains, and also in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, it was just kind of a fun, kind of interesting format.
So you were
really cool.
you were buying billboards. I lost something there. So you were buying radio stations or billboards?
What's that?
Were you buying radio stations or billboards?
No, buying radio stations, but we use billboards coming into those tourist markets to drive people to the radio station. And then from there, 45 minutes of ads, but the ads sounded really cool. The format sounded live. We used a lot of comedy on it and interviews with the stars of Branson, like Andrew, the people who were there, Dr. Willie and that kind of stuff. And
wow,
it was really, it was a really cool thing. And that's actually what led us into creating the first and only at the time, all comedy, all the time radio format, which eventually morphed into our own network. And then, we programmed the Sirius and XM channels. Then when they merged, they still run a lot of our, programming on there. But it was through that vacation format comedy so much that we thought, there's a big format here. There's a real full-on comedy format.
That is incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He's a cool guy.
Wow.
And he's a great guy.
Well, Kent, and Joe Ingram
I think Donald. I'm happy to ride Donald's coattails.
Joe said he's like, I have Kent's phone number, so there, or something like that. So, man, it's great to meet you. It sounds like you've done some really cool stuff. I would like to set up an official interview, have you on my show.
Static. You let me know anytime.
Yeah, I think Bob, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear both of you.
Okay.
Guys,
yeah, I think maybe the internet.
Thank you. Yeah. Great to be on here with you.
Nice having you on. Nice meeting you. Yeah, I think maybe his internet signal was a little weak or something.
Maybe. Yeah, he
seems
a great guy.
Really funny.
He's very funny and great guy. And you put Bill and Joe and him, it's
out of control.
Sideline material.
That's awesome. So what's some other positive things going on?
I think some of the positive things is like, it's funny because I work from Starbucks a lot. So I'm at the Starbucks. I've been here all day and I go in, get my refill and then have to leave because they don't allow us to be inside. So they've removed all the chairs inside, all the chairs outside. But the coolest thing is you're sitting in your car next to somebody who else is sitting in their car and they're working on their computer and you're talking on your phone and, you just go wave at each other. And I mean, it's just been kind of fun. And, you walk in and they're like, hey, Bob, how are you? And, man, we miss you. We don't get to see you very much since since you're sitting out in your car all day. And, but it's really fun. I think there's just going to be so many great opportunities that come out of this for people to start reconnecting with themselves, reconnecting with their family. There's going to be actually people sitting down, looking at each other across the table going, I used to know you. Maybe I should get to know you again. And and I think that's going to be a good thing.
I agree, man. I agree. Eric Swanson says that you own Starbucks now.
I do. Yeah. Yeah, they're answering to me.
I love it.
See?
I love it. So, hey, there's a lot of positive things that are happening for sure. Terrence Freeman says the correction. I agree, man. I heard something that, and it's true every so often the market, our stock markets self-correct. They end up, something happens where a self-correction happens. And we've been living on a bubble for a long time now. People down in South Georgia buying Tudor shooters. There's no TP here. What's a Tudor shooter? I don't know what a Tudor shooter is.
So,
I think that, again, I think there's a lot of people that are going to have to, that we're going to be forced to do some redefining and some introspection and looking at like, what do I do from here?
Yeah.
Right. It's just the way it is, man. I mean, Carrie Lynn Carter said, I don't want to know. Oh, she said, y'all call them bidets. Oh my
Bidets.
God. Yeah. That is from.
Oh, Tammy, you're funny.
That's funny. So, Eric Cornelius said he's selling Tudor shooters. Oh, that's so funny. So, I think, again, it's this may be very, very negative for a lot of people,
Yes.
I do see a lot of people in the network marketing world that are saying, hey, do you still think working from home's a silly idea? I mean,
Right.
I hear them. I get it. I mean, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time for a lot of people to really go, okay, if you lost your job or your company goes under, I mean, it's sad, man. It really stinks, but if that happens, it's just a chance for you to build something new.
Here's the thing. There have been people sitting on the sidelines for the last 10, 15 years going, I need to start my own business. I need to start my own business. And all of a sudden it's thrust upon them that they better start their own business. And I look at that and I go, not only is that good for them, but it's good for the rest of us, because when they step into their greatness and step into what they're supposed to be doing, the rest of us benefit from that.
Yes.
So I'm all for that.
Oh, I was just giving you the whole screen there. I agree, dude.
I'm just all for that. I mean, there are people that are sitting there with something great to share with the world, and yet because they've had these gold handcuffs on them, to making too much money to walk away from it, not walk away from it, but not enough to really do big. And they're now in that position where they're actually going to go, you know what? Screw it. I'm in. I'm all in. Let's make this thing happen. I got no other options. This is it. And we are going to see great evolution in products, in services, enhancements. We're going to see it come to fruition because of this.
Yeah.
And not in spite of it, but because of it.
Look what Carrie Lynn Carter just said. Can you read that?
I was looking forward to seeing everyone at the dinner at Yes.
Let's all just
We're still going to do it.
We're going to do
Crash
it. We're
Ken's
just
house.
not going to do
Absolutely.
it. Yeah. We're going to
let's crash at Ken's house.
Hey, we have a humongous ginormous couch.
Backyard.
It's we have that too. I have a really nice outbuilding with hardly anything in it. So look, I think that honestly, dude, I think that, again, people, be careful what you wish for, right? A lot of people that are saying, Terrence Freeman's coming over now. So a lot of people that are saying, what you just said, man, I really want to start my own business, or, man, I'm so sick of being a server. I'm sick of this job. I hate this job, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look at that. John Harrington stepping up. He's not far from me at all. In fact, he lives in the same dang town. And he said, I have a barn with 30 amp service. Bring your RV. There you go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
So, but like, the people that you've been complaining, you've been saying what Bob was just talking about. You've been saying, I need to start my own business. I'd really like to start my own business. I want to pave my own way. I'm tired of the 9 to 5 or waiting tables until 2 o'clock in the morning, dealing with the drunks, whatever it is, right? And now you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to reinvent yourself. You really do.
And you know what? It might not be that they are going to go in and go, start a business, but maybe they're just going to change industries. Maybe for the last 10 years, they've been in one industry and they've just been dead and tired and sick and tired of it and exhausted and worn out. And all of a sudden now that industry isn't working.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden they're going to be forced to look at another industry that they've been going, I wish I was doing that. I wish I had understood that industry. And now they have the opportunity. There are going to be so many opportunities that come from this. More online businesses. Yep. People that were just messing around, just tinkering, are all of a sudden going to get serious about their online business, and the world is going to benefit from it.
Amen. I agree.
Weldon, I love it, brother.
Yeah. So, there's all, and I heard Mark Victor Hansen's, or not, Mark Victor Hansen was on my buddy Brian's show today, and he made a comment, and I typed it in the comments on Brian's show, and I don't remember. It was something to the effect of crisis always. That's it. Pam just said it. Opportunity. He said, crisis always creates opportunity.
Yeah. Amen.
It always does. It always creates opportunity. Unfortunately, a lot of people will sit and they'll play the tape over and over and over and over and over in their head instead of taking action. Or they'll think, well, maybe the company will open back up, or what?
Right.
Maybe they will. I don't know, but you've been in that cushion state, like you were talking about. You've had that cushion, and now's a chance. Now's your chance. There's Pam Aubrey. Say
Pamela.
Hi to Pamela. Carrie Lynn Carter. Robert Brooker is in the house as always.
Nice.
Julie Strickler. What's going on, Julie? It's the time for personal development, digging deep down inside.
Love it.
Yep.
How did you get all these beautiful, articulate, brilliant women in one place?
I have no clue. They're because you're here, dude.
Right. No, these people all knew you before they knew me, so they're here for you, man.
Well, no, they're here for you. They're like, oh my God. Oh, look, Ken. Oh my God, Ken's live. Oh, he's got Bob on. Okay.
Yeah. I ain't buying it.
Weldon said, I sat in on Grant Cardone's mentor call last night, and he was talking about the same thing. And he's right. There's never been a time in my life where if I hit something really, really bad, some kind of major adversity, something good always came out of it. It does not mean that it felt good at the time, because it didn't.
No. It doesn't mean that it was necessarily a pleasant experience or pleasant for you.
Yeah. Right.
I can even look as far as my daughter when she died. I can look and say, boy, that was, I would never wish that on anyone. I don't ever want to see that happen. I don't ever want that to happen to me again. And yet if I start to reposition that, reframe that, there's 3 people alive today, 22 years later, because of her organs. 3 people that were on death's doorstep.
Wow.
And now they're still alive. So, I mean, look, there is a silver lining on everything, as bad as things can be. Yeah. All I'm saying is, let's not focus on what everyone wants us to focus on, and that is the negative and the BS and all the bad stuff that's going on. Let's focus on what's our agenda, what's the purpose that we have, and then how do we fulfill that? And the only way we're going to fulfill that is by stepping into it, not stepping away from it.
And for the people, there's a lot of people that may even say, well, the elected officials are doing this and this and this, and we need to hold them accountable. And my thing is this, is good luck with that. Because
Yeah.
if you've ever tried to fight City Hall always wins. And you're not talking about a city hall. You're talking about governments.
A country. Right.
So like
multiple governments.
Yeah.
Multiple governments that have a lot to lose if they don't finish their agenda.
And not millions of dollars, trillions of dollars. Trillions. It's on a different level, and none of us on this. So you can complain and be upset and join the rebel cause all you want, but at the end of the day, you better do what you just said. And dude, that's on a different level that I don't know if anybody on this stream can relate to that, but like maybe, but you losing your daughter and you took a horrible situation, and instead of getting into what I call PMS, poor me syndrome, right? And feeling sorry for yourself for the rest of your life, you've reframed it and you've said, look, some positive actually did come out of it. As horrible as it is,
right?
Hey,
look, you're never going to erase the fact that she died.
Right.
That's not going to happen. But you can live with the fact that she died, or you can say, what can I see as a positive outcome from that?
Right.
That can help me create a compelling future to keep living versus being stuck in this thing that happened.
Right. And
I know I'm going to catch grief. There's going to be people that don't like the way I just framed that, and I'm okay with that. You deal with it and figure out how you want to frame it for yourself. But that's how I'm going
to. And if they do, give me their name so I can make sure they're not on my friends list anymore. Because here's the thing, man. And I'm serious. I'll block them. That's about the dumbest thing. If anybody reached out to you and complained about the way you framed your daughter dying, I would have to wonder how mentally unstable that person really is. So and I mean that. Like, they're blocked. So look, again, you could get into the mindset of poor me, and you don't. And that's the way everybody on this planet needs to be behaving right now.
And that's how I did that was I said, how does that serve me to go poor me? And then how does it serve others to say poor me?
Right.
And then all I have to say is, okay, so what if I didn't say that? What if I said, what can I do with this new information I have about life?
That's right.
And then how does that serve me? And how will that serve others? And then there's a clear winner on which position to take.
That's right. And you know what? As a result, it's like when I first quit drinking and got sober 17 and a half years ago, I can remember how ashamed I was to say I'm an alcoholic. I mean, I was literally terrified to say that. Well, now that I have a ridiculous amount of recovery and a lot of time sober, I can help other people that are dealing with the same problem, right? And other
problems. That's right.
And it's the same with you. I know you've met with parents that have lost children. I know that you have. And they can't sit there and look at you and say, well, I appreciate you saying what you're saying, but you can't relate because you can't.
Right. That's right.
And that's
absolutely right.
That is where, in my book, it's called Walls of Wisdom, Turning Pain into Profit. And I don't mean money profit. I'm talking about the profit of life. So like, like if you can take that and meet with somebody else that's going through it, been through it, and you can totally relate and help them. And that's what this pain that we're all going through, you can reframe the pain and you'll be able to help a lot of people if you allow yourself to.
Absolutely. And I believe that that's the reason we went through it. I believe that that's the price we paid to be who we are today so that we can have the impact that's designed for us, but we can choose to not do it.
Right.
But, I mean, I look at it and I just go, man, that's the price I paid. I mean, I lost my mom, my only parent, when I was in high school. I can relate to any kid losing their parent. but I can also relate to anyone who's lost a parent, right?
Yeah.
I lost my only father figure, if I had a father figure, my only father figure to a drug overdose. So I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I lost my daughter. I can relate to that. I lost my brother to suicide. I can relate to people losing somebody to suicide. I lost
Wow.
my grandchild to SIDS. I can relate to somebody who's losing a grandchild as an infant who is only 2 months old. Look, we went through it. So we can either look at it as an investment and look for an ROI,
Yeah.
or we can look at it as an expense and just suck it up.
Yep.
I prefer to look for the ROI.
Wow. Dude, that's unbelievable. I hope people are taking notes on this, man, because that's powerful. That's so powerful. Dude, you're a wise man. I mean, you are a wise man, and I am honored to call you a friend. I can't, sometimes
Thank you, likewise.
especially when, you talk to somebody all the time. I'm not saying I take you for granted, because I don't, but, it happens, right?
Sure.
Like,
I
I can just call Bob anytime, and man, if Bob stopped answering my calls, I'd be like, Bob, what happened, dude? What's going on? Like, you used to FaceTime me from Starbucks, man. What's the problem?
That's right. And show you an empty Starbucks.
Right. You did tonight. So, man, I think now is the number one, the number one thing I believe people could do is first, man, get out a piece of paper and write down everything that you're grateful for in your life. Write it down.
Amen.
Second,
Amen.
Set some big goals for yourself. I think people do not think big enough. They don't think big enough. I think you need to write some big goals. Like, you want to own an island with this ocean in the background. You want to own this island or whatever, right? Set some goals. And number 3, start changing the conversations you have with yourself about yourself, right?
Yes.
The self.
Yes.
Right? How do you tell people to change the way they talk to themselves?
Go to the video, go to YouTube and type in Bob Newhart, Stop It, and watch that video. Bob Newhart, Stop It. Watch that video.
I love that video.
It's a brilliant video. That would be first. Second thing I would say is you have to take into consideration, I always say this, consider the source. Who's talking to you right now? Right? If you're sitting there listening to a babbling idiot, you know this conversation is moot. But if you're talking to a wise person, if you're talking to somebody who's been through experience, if you're talking to somebody who's dealt with it, dealt with adversity and come out on the other side, then you go, I'm going to consider the source. So when you're talking to yourself and you're bagging on yourself, telling yourself bad, being negative about life, who are you talking? Consider the source. That person has been damaged goods from X amount of time. I prefer to say, consider the source. I want to listen to the wise person. I want to listen to the person who's been through adversity and come out on the other side. I want to listen to the person who has a clear vision of where they're going. And then I'm going to go, that's the person I'm listening to. That person, what does that person sound like? A wise person who's been through adversity and come out on the other side and has clear vision for their future does not sound like the person who's bagging on you, beating yourself up, doubting yourself, worried about your future. That's not the same person. So consider the source and then pick the right source.
I totally agree, man. Totally agree. And I used to say, or I've had people say, especially when I first got sober, I would have people say to me, or I'd hear it in meetings or wherever, I'd hear, if a total stranger walked up to you on the streets and treated you the way that you treat yourself, what would you do to that person?
Mm-hmm.
And it really made me think, like, yeah, I wouldn't, I don't think I would tolerate that much.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think I would handle that well. So, Learning how
But
to
we
treat.
allow ourselves to talk worse to ourselves than we would allow someone to talk negative to one of our friends. It's just,
Yeah,
yeah, it's sad.
it's sad. And it's a hard thing to change. It really
It
is.
But you don't change behavior by once. You know,
Nope.
you don't get a kid to stop asking for a cookie 25 times by saying no, 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 no 25 times and then going, okay, have a cookie. Behavior doesn't change that way. And so
Right.
repetition is the mother of skill, as Tony says. What I like to
Yep.
look at is I say, well, if I'm going to change a behavior, I'm going to have to be consistent and persistent with that new behavior and then
Yep.
align it with the desired results so that the behavior equals the desired results. And then as we start seeing the positive result coming from that behavior, that makes it easier for us to hold on to that behavior because it's producing the result that we desire.
There you go. Amen. I agree. Julie Strickler says, would you talk to your best friend the way that we talk to ourselves? And the answer is no. Of course not. I mean, and I've gotten better, but I'm certainly not perfect.
Nope, me neither. Me neither
We all,
at all.
Through
And the people around me, my coaches, including my daughter, will call me on it.
Yep.
I'll say something and my daughter will be like, is that what you would tell one of your clients?
Right.
And I'd be like, I don't know who you are.
Right.
Get behind me.
Right.
She's 30 years old and she's brilliant. She's brilliant.
Wow.
A great entrepreneur, a great mom, great wife. She's brilliant.
Wow. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, dude, I don't know. It doesn't look like doesn't look like Joe's gonna make it on. So just want to pop on for a little bit, spread some positivity. Hopefully, hopefully some people got something out of it.
Absolutely.
If not, we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Hey, everybody
we'll find you.
That's right.
We will find
Everybody needs to watch my show tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard because I have Joe Soto on the show. And Joe is one of the, if not the guy, responsible for getting Tai Lopez to where he is and his fame and
Nice.
I mean, a lot of things. Joe is an incredible human being. So, and a good friend of mine. So make sure you hop on tomorrow and check that out. And Bob, as always, I love you, dude. You're awesome.
Love you, brother.
Appreciate you coming on and sharing some more of your wisdom tonight.
Anytime, brother. Love you, man.
All right. Love you too, bro. We'll see you guys. Have a great night. Go make a gratitude list.
Yes.
All right. See you guys. Stay on here, Bob. Don't hang up on me.
Okay.